Hey guys, I'm Jim with Smokin' Simmons Barbecue. Welcome to my channel. Today we're going to talk about how to remove the membrane from some baby back ribs. We're going to be smoking tomorrow, so I want to give you some tips and tricks on how to do that. And so if you like the video, please smack that like and subscribe button like it owes you money. All right, so what we're going to need first is obviously a nice set baby back ribs. I've got a couple more on the side, but I just want to show you the first one here. We'll do a little trimming as well. But what you want to do first, get yourself a butter knife, nothing sharp, because otherwise you're going to cut through the membrane. You're going to go between the third and fourth rib here and slide the knife just barely under, but don't pierce that skin. Now you got it enough to where you can stick your finger. I live in Tampa, Florida, the lightning capital of the world, so apparently I have fans now. Hey. Anyway, you're going to slide your finger underneath here. So you go almost right underneath it. Oh, there we go. Work it out from this side. Now the easiest trick in the book here is you grab yourself a paper towel. Helps you hang on to it. Hang on to it like that and pull slowly. It comes right off. All right, just like that. Now, you can do a little trimming while we're here. This right here, all this is going to do is overheat and burn off. So you really don't want that at all. Grab the knife. There we go. All right, what I'm going to do is trim off this bone right here, like so. Get rid of some scraps here that again will just burn off. You don't want that. And let's see. Woo, this butcher did not like this rib. Holy cow, he just totally took care of this. I'm gonna leave it just because it's thick enough, but I'm definitely gonna make sure I season the underside of it as well. However, usually I remove this last bone here, but because it's really, that's how this chunk of meat is staying on, I'm gonna leave it just like that. Let's see what the underside looks like. Actually, it looks pretty good. I'm not gonna have to worry about doing any more trimming. But that is it, folks. That's how you successfully trim a rack of baby back ribs. All right, now that we're done with trimming it, we're gonna go ahead and season it. So today, I'm gonna be using a little Kinder's blend for some salt and pepper savory action. Then, I'm gonna break out some Meat Church Honey Hog Barbecue. I swear by this stuff, it's amazing. And later on, during the wrap part, I'm going to be adding some butter, some brown sugar, and some bourbon infused honey. Hopefully this is good. First time of me trying it. And then lastly, to give it that nice little shellac, I'm going to top it off with a thin layer of cherry jalapeno barbecue sauce. It's a family favorite. All right, so let's go ahead and start seasoning now. Don't be afraid of the seasoning. It's a big hunk of meat, it can take a lot. Just like that, that is good. Flip it over, don't forget the underside. Do not forget the sides, folks. Rookie move. And of course that little meat flap. Insert any your mom joke at this time. Right, now flip it over and start from the underside. Use a little honey hog. Make sure you push it down so it sticks and adheres. Over to the presentation side here. Now I'm prepping these for tomorrow's dinner. So what I'm going to do is stick these in the fridge. You're going to want to have this rub sit for at least 30 minutes, at least. That way you get maximum flavor exposure. And since I'm going to be letting it sit overnight, it's definitely going to absorb all those flavors and really get happy. All right, that is all it takes. All right, now, since I've already seasoned the first rack with the Meat Church Honey Heart Barbecue, I'm gonna go ahead and mix it up and do all 3 racks totally different. So this next one here, I'm gonna go ahead, well first I gotta hit it with a little bit of the SPG tenders. Because a lot of my rubs that I use tend to be, you know, a little on the sweet side, but they don't have a whole lot of savory notes, and you kind of want to have that equal balance in when you're eating ribs, because you want to make sure that the entire palate is hit. So I'm going to go ahead and do this side. Some more. Just a second. Always have a backup, folks. There we go. Just had some small powder in the last sprinkle. All right. So the first one we're gonna do is for my little buddy behind the camera. My son Ethan got me this for Christmas one year, and I said, you know what? This sweet rub of mine, apple chipotle, sounds amazing. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that on this one. Okay, push it down, flip it over. Sides. All right, that one is done. I'll move this over here. Now, I'm going to use one of my buddies over at Skull and Mortar, his original rub, John Barker. Toss some of that on here on this one. Way. Push it down. And this side. And of course, if you get any of these little hard parts here, don't worry about it. Go ahead and break it up, or you can just take it off of there, no big deal. All right, and that is it. I will see you guys tomorrow when we go ahead and put these on the grill. Stay tuned. All right, guys, it is now the next day, and we are ready to go ahead and throw these on. It's about 12:30, so these are going to take maybe about 5 hours. I've got my char griller Acorn here, up to temp, probably around maybe 210. I want to keep it kind of low in the first 3 hours so that I don't overcook the ribs, and they'll get some decent amount of smoke. Speaking of, I've got some lump charcoal in a snake method with some applewood chunks to really give it some good fruit flavor. So I'm going to go ahead and open it up. Always make sure that you open it up slowly so you don't increase the level of oxygen and spike your temperatures. As you can see, speaking of temperatures, I have my tip-top temp here. This helps me regulate the airflow coming from the bottom vent as well as the top vent. I'm going to go ahead and open it up here, let some smoke come out. All right. Put these on here. I threw them on a rib rack for save some room here. I'll move this over just a tad away from the heat source. Where can I put it? This here will be fine. All right, we're gonna close her up, and we're gonna see this in about 2 hours to check on it. I'm gonna usually give it 3 hours in the smoke, but we'll see how it is at hour 2. go. All right, it has been 2 hours. We're just going to do a quick check. The temperature has been holding right at around 200, which is fine. Again, we want to do that low and slow for the first 3 hours, just to make sure that you get enough smoke penetration without overcooking it. So this is just a 2 hour mark. It's still got another hour to go. So it's just a quick check-in. All right, looking really good. Bring my cameraman in a little closer so we can see it. It's good so far. All right, we're gonna button it up, give it another hour in the smoke. Check on it, another hour. It should be ready to get wrapped by then, but we'll take a look. All right, welcome back. It's now been 3 hours. The ribs look amazing. They're temping at around 160, 165, which is perfect. And now it's time to wrap. What I've already done already was I've prepped 2 out of the 3, and now all I have to do is just pour a little bit more of the bourbon infused honey on this last one here. You simply take a rack, place it meat side down. Do that for all of them. All right. Slide this out a little bit. Very important that we make it as tight as possible. But don't go too tight because you'll pierce the foil. The bone will come right through. Perfect. All right, so that is one. This here. Down. What this is going to do here, this is going to trap in all of the juices from the butter, the brown sugar, and the honey. They're all going to melt down and almost like steam it. But what that does is that softens the meat even more, and it just gets very heavy. And lastly, here. This is the big one. Alright, wrap that up. Now, these are ready to go back on the smoker for another 2 hours. Right around that 2 hour mark, I'm gonna go ahead and temp them to make sure that they're at least 200, maybe 203 before I pull them off, and we'll go to the next step. All right, so now it has been a total of 2 hours wrapped up in the brown sugar, the butter, and the bourbon infused honey. We're ready to, I did take a temperature just before I pulled them off the grill. They're right at 200, 201, which is perfect. That means they're super tender. I'm gonna go ahead and unwrap them, give them a light coat of barbecue sauce. And the one we're using today is the cherry jalapeno barbecue sauce. It's made from Gourmet Warehouse. And it's a family favorite. We all love it here. Go ahead and unwrap it. It's still thunder and lightning over here. Just carefully pull these off. Flip. Oh, they look beautiful. I'm gonna save the juices just in case. Let's put them over here. Let's do this next one. Actually, wow, these are almost falling apart. I gotta be really careful here. Over. Outstanding. We may be able to fit this last one on the same tray. There we go. Now it all fits. All right, so now I'm gonna just give these a light coating. Just so that they can get a little happy. Remember, we're not trying to gob it on there. Just a thin layer will do the trick. And what we're going to do after this is put this back on the grill, unwrapped for, I want to say maybe another 30 minutes, just to set the sauce. And we're ready to serve. So next time you see me, I'll be taking them off and cutting them up and seeing what they look like. Stay tuned. All right, the sauce is now set. These ribs are done. I don't know if you can see them or not, but man, they look amazing. They smell even better. So let's go ahead and cut into one. Now the best way to cut into ribs is actually on the underside so you can see the bones. Now these here, we've got so much pullback, we can really see these baby backs. So what I'm gonna do is go ahead and cut into one of them here. Oh, this knife just goes right through it. All right, now let's flip them again. And this is what you came up with. And zoom in on that. Super tender, super juicy. Hope you can see that on a camera. And not mush. No one likes mushy ribs. So now for the ultimate taste test. Oh, they're amazing. That's the bite through that you want. Unreal. Wow. All right. I can't wait to get into these now. And I'm at a loss for words here. Really good, really easy to do. Just control your temps. And if you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. I really appreciate it. Until next time, see ya.